Imagine standing beneath a dark, alien sky. There are clouds overhead. A storm is building. But instead of water, tiny shards of glass begin falling from the sky. Not straight down, sideways, faster than the speed of a race car, at nearly 5,000 miles per hour, fast enough to slice through almost anything. It sounds like science fiction or a nightmare, but astronomers believe this is exactly what happens on a real planet orbiting a distant star, a place officially known as HD 189733b, one of the strangest worlds ever discovered. For years, scientists thought they understood what weather looked like: rain, snow, lightning, wind. Everything seemed familiar. Then telescopes started looking beyond our solar system, and they found a planet where every rule appeared to break. At first glance, HD 189733b looked surprisingly beautiful. Images reconstructed from telescope data showed a deep blue world, almost the same rich color as Earth's oceans. Many people even called it the blue marble of the galaxy. But that beautiful color was hiding something terrifying, because there are no oceans, no beaches, no peaceful skies. Only one of the most violent atmospheres ever detected. The question was, what could make an entire planet blue without water? That mystery became one of the biggest puzzles in exoplanet science. Scientists first detected HD 189733b in 2005. It lies about 64 light-years from Earth, close enough for modern telescopes to study its atmosphere in remarkable detail. Unlike Earth, this planet doesn't slowly orbit its star. It races around it, completing one full orbit in just over 2 Earth days. That means the planet is unbelievably close to its sun. So close that gravity has locked one side permanently facing the star. The same side always experiences daylight. The opposite side never sees the sun at all. One hemisphere burns under constant radiation. The other remains trapped in endless darkness. This strange arrangement creates an enormous temperature difference across the planet, and nature hates imbalance. So the atmosphere tries to equalize everything. The result? Planet-wide winds unlike anything in our solar system. Scientists estimate these winds reach nearly 5,000 miles per hour. For comparison, the strongest hurricanes on Earth rarely exceed 200 miles per hour. These alien winds are more than 20 times faster. Nothing on Earth prepares us for weather like that. But the wind alone wasn't the biggest surprise. The real shock came when researchers analyzed how starlight passed through the planet's atmosphere. Different gases leave different fingerprints in light. Using this technique, astronomers could identify chemicals floating high above the clouds. They expected hydrogen, maybe helium, perhaps traces of methane. Instead, they found evidence pointing towards something completely unexpected: silicate particles, the same family of materials used to make glass, rock, sand, quartz. On Earth, these materials stay solid beneath our feet. On HD 189733b, the temperatures are so extreme that rocks don't simply melt. Some of them vaporize. Imagine mountains turning into invisible gas. Now imagine that gas rising into the atmosphere. As it cools, tiny silicate particles begin forming inside the clouds. Not water droplets, glass particles. The planet doesn't have rain as we know it. It may have storms filled with microscopic shards of molten glass. And remember those incredible winds? They don't allow anything to fall gently. Instead, they blast those particles sideways across the atmosphere at thousands of miles per hour. A storm on this world isn't something you could stand beneath. It would become a horizontal sandblaster made of razor-sharp glass. Every second would be catastrophic. But another mystery remained. If this planet is so unimaginably hot, why does it appear blue? That question puzzled astronomers for years. Blue usually suggests oceans or atmospheric scattering like Earth's sky. Neither explanation seemed to fit. Researchers kept collecting data. Each new observation revealed another clue. Some scientists proposed that tiny silicate particles scatter blue light more effectively than red light, much like Earth's sky scatters sunlight. If true, the planet's breathtaking blue appearance isn't created by water at all. It's created by billions upon billions of airborne glass particles suspended in an inferno. The very thing making the planet beautiful could also make it one of the deadliest places ever observed. Yet even that wasn't the biggest surprise, because while studying this planet, astronomers noticed something that didn't quite make sense. The hottest point on the planet wasn't exactly where physics predicted it should be. Something in the atmosphere was moving enormous amounts of heat around the planet, far more efficiently than expected. That discovery hinted at atmospheric processes scientists still don't fully understand. It suggested HD 189733b wasn't simply hot, it was dynamic, violent, changing, almost alive with motion. And then, new observations uncovered an even stranger clue. The planet's atmosphere wasn't behaving consistently. Over time, subtle changes appeared in the data. Small differences, unexpected shifts, enough to make researchers wonder whether enormous alien weather systems were evolving before their eyes. Could scientists actually be watching a massive storm changing on a planet 64 light-years away? Or was something even stranger happening high above those blue clouds? The answer would transform HD 189733b from a bizarre curiosity into one of the most important laboratories for understanding alien worlds across our galaxy. Part 2. The possibility sounded almost impossible. How could scientists watch weather changing on a planet 64 light-years away? After all, they couldn't send satellites. They couldn't launch probes. They couldn't even capture a clear photograph. Everything they knew came from tiny changes in light. Yet those tiny changes told an extraordinary story. Every time HD 189733b passed in front of its star, a small fraction of starlight filtered through the planet's atmosphere before reaching Earth. That light carried clues, almost like a coded message. And with each observation, astronomers became better at reading it. Then came one of the most fascinating discoveries. The atmosphere wasn't perfectly stable. Different observations showed subtle differences over time. Cloud layers seemed to shift. Temperatures appeared to change. The atmosphere looked active. For the first time, scientists realized they might not be looking at a frozen snapshot. They could be witnessing real weather on another world. That idea completely changed the field of exoplanet research. Until then, distant planets had mostly been treated as simple data points. A mass, a size, an orbit. But HD 189733b felt different. It behaved like a living planet with constantly changing atmospheric conditions. Then another mystery emerged. The extreme heat from the star should have remained concentrated directly beneath the daylight side. Instead, measurements showed the hottest region had drifted away from that point. Something enormous was transporting heat across the planet. The only explanation was wind. Not ordinary wind. Jet streams unlike anything known in our solar system. These atmospheric rivers carried tremendous amounts of energy from the permanent day side toward the eternal night side. Without them, the temperature difference would have been even more extreme. With them, the planet became a world locked in an endless struggle between heat and motion. Nothing ever settled. Nothing ever rested. Every moment was a battle between gravity, radiation, and atmospheric pressure. But there was still one final question. Could a human survive there? The answer isn't just no, it's difficult to imagine a place less welcoming. Long before anyone reached the clouds, the environment would become deadly. Temperatures climbed to well over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Any known spacecraft would face enormous thermal stress. The atmosphere itself is made mostly of hydrogen and helium. There is no breathable air, no solid surface where a person could stand. HD 189733b belongs to a class of worlds known as hot Jupiters. Like Jupiter, it is a gas giant. Traveling downward would lead to no land. Instead, pressure would continue increasing until it became unimaginably crushing. The deeper you descended, everything became more extreme. Above you, glass-filled storms. Around you, supersonic winds. Below you, a crushing ocean of compressed gas with no clear surface at all. Even if the glass storms somehow missed you, the atmosphere itself would quickly destroy any chance of survival. Yet, despite being utterly hostile, this planet has become one of the most valuable worlds scientists have ever studied. Because every clue hidden in its atmosphere teaches us something new about planets throughout the galaxy. It helps researchers improve the techniques used to study worlds that are far too distant to visit. The same methods applied to HD 189733b are now being used on smaller, cooler planets. Some of those planets may even lie inside their star's habitable zones. Places where liquid water could exist. Places where life might eventually be discovered. Ironically, one of the most violent planets ever found has become a stepping stone in the search for peaceful ones. And that's the real significance of this blue world. Not because it rains glass, not because its winds exceed 5,000 miles per hour, not even because its beauty hides unimaginable danger. Its greatest value is what it teaches us. Every strange world expands our understanding of what planets can become. Before exoplanets were discovered, many scientists assumed our solar system represented the universal blueprint. Now we know that assumption was wrong. Some planets orbit two stars. Some are darker than coal. Some may have oceans of lava. Others could have skies filled with metal vapor. And one of them may truly experience sideways rain made from tiny shards of glass. Each discovery forces astronomy to rewrite its own expectations. Each new observation reminds us that the universe is far more creative than human imagination. Somewhere beyond our night sky, countless worlds remain invisible. Many have never been detected. Others have been found but barely understood. Among them may be planets even stranger than HD 189733b. Worlds with weather we cannot yet explain. Chemistry we have never seen. And mysteries waiting for the next generation of telescopes. When When you look at the stars tonight, it's easy to imagine that distant planets are simply larger versions of Earth. But HD 189733b tells a different story. It reminds us that beauty can be deceptive. A brilliant blue planet can hide a relentless atmosphere where molten glass races sideways through alien skies. A place that looks peaceful from light years away, yet stands as one of the most violent weather systems humanity has ever uncovered. And perhaps the greatest mystery isn't why such a planet exists. It's how many more impossible worlds are still waiting to be found.